So my walkthrough today was actually okay as compared to my walkthrough yesterday, which was a mild disaster. So today I was representing a seller. We were doing the final walkthrough. So these are your walkthrough tips and general understanding, because a lot of people have questions about this. So a walkthrough can be different on every property. Yesterday was a mess. That was another video. Today I was representing the seller. The seller was gone. She had to go to the bank to make a trust account. Buyer's agent was there and both buyers. So this is what a good walkthrough should look like. It should be friendly. I make a couple of jokes, put people at ease. I was dressed really casually today, so the buyer was like, "Oh, how long have you been in the industry?" I'm like, "Oh, 22 years." Anyway, she was cute, but so the walkthrough, so they wanted to make sure like certain heavy objects were gonna get moved. They wanted to make sure the washer and dryer was gonna stay, double checking if the fridge was gonna stay, making sure the shed was gonna be cleaned out, asking about, there was like a control, Hamilton Beach control that nobody knew what it went to. So these are things that are not going to be addressed in your general home inspection. The home inspector doesn't care really about some like irrigation and controls and things like that. So I texted the seller, she's the best, and she was like, "Oh, that remote goes to a fountain that the buyer didn't even know was there." These walkthroughs are really important for details. Where are keys going to be left? What day are you going to disconnect utilities? I've had walkthroughs last as long as 3 hours, as little as 10, 15 minutes. So it's kind of choose your own adventure, whatever the buyer and seller need for the walkthrough. Crying cat. And but today was what a walkthrough should be. So the buyers wanted to know exactly what fruit was on the tree. They were like, "Tell us what is on each fruit tree right to left. Tell us what this weird control does. Let's make sure you get all the Christmas stuff out of the shed, and please make sure this heavy table is moved out. Let's do all these things." So that's, I would say, a good walkthrough. It's kind of good to have the seller there, but she had to set up a trust account and didn't know it for closing tomorrow, so she had to go handle that. And what wasn't good was that, okay, keep in mind I'm representing the seller, my awesome seller, Gladys. Anyway, so then the buyers, the agent's great. The agent's like, "Okay, loan docs are at escrow. We're supposed to close tomorrow." And I'm getting a little nervous. I'm like, when are they going to sign loan docs? Like, this needs to be done. Because everyone's world is revolving around these closings. And then I was just being nice, and I'm like, "Hey, are you guys signing loan docs today? Like, you meeting with the notary?" And the buyer said to her agent, "We can DocuSign that, right?" And the agent was like, "Oh no, you have to meet with a notary. It's like a very big deal to sign loan docs. The notary has to pick up hard copy documents from escrow, schedule an appointment with the buyer. You have to have the proper ID. You have to be in a certain location, and you have to have the time." So the buyer gave like deer in the headlights. She's like, "What?" So the buyer had no idea they have to, sorry. The buyer had no idea they had to notarize their loan docs to close tomorrow. This is a major boo-boo. Somebody dropped the ball, or the buyers, for whatever reason, didn't know. So communication's key. Getting in front of people's key. We have to fill in the gaps. Agents are like glue. We just glue the deal together, and there's not a better way to describe it. We are like glue, so that the deal actually happens, because so much gets misinterpreted, and whatnot. So that's my brief education on what a final walkthrough should be, and it should be done, in my opinion, 3 to 5 days before closing, so anything can be addressed before the close. Because once it closes, our fiduciary responsibility is over and our power is essentially gone. So that's your tip of the day. Sabrina Covington, real estate broker, Southern California. Thanks.